Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to What's the Damage, the classic WTD question mark on my channel. One of the longest running series on this channel actually. If you're new here, well, you're watching history in the making, you know. This is probably like my 150th WTD at this point, I don't even know, but there's probably over 100 by now. The segment on this channel where I rant about things, where I give criticism and complain, usually, you know, give negative feedback on things that I, you know, perceive and whatnot, you know. Today is like, I don't know if it's the optimal day to record, you know. I mean, I did get off of work a little earlier than I expected. Rather, I got home earlier than I expected, you know. And I just figured, you know what, maybe I'll try to record something. My legs are hurting like a freaking buffalo right now, you know. Not to say the other B word. Like my thighs, my shins, my feet are just throbbing with pain, you know. I really should be laying down taking a nap or something, you know, but instead the show must go on, you know. And you guys might hear audio interference, some traffic, construction, dogs and kids and maybe cats and the wind, because today just does not shut the hell up. Today won't shut up, you know. The day itself will not shut up, but I'm still here trying to record, and if that doesn't deserve a subscribe, well, maybe this video will. Maybe today's video is going to make you want to become a member of my community here. I'm going to be talking about something that at this point I'm pretty sure an incident that happened that has already blown over by now, you know. I think it's safe to talk about and analyze it because a lot of details have been presented since it actually happened, you know, back last month in March. And the title might already, and the thumbnail might already give it away. I'm going to be talking about the slap that Will Smith gave Chris Rock in the last Oscar ceremony, you know, which at first stunned everybody. Nobody really understood what the hell was happening, you know. Some people, myself included, thought it might have been an act or something, you know, but after he smacked him right across the face, it quickly became apparent that this was not rehearsed, you know. Like Will, he was genuinely angry and physically assaulted Rock, you know. And then he shouted some profanities that I won't be able to say here, you know, but it was pretty heavy. It was heavy, you know. And the reason for this is because Chris Rock made a little remark, a little joke about Jada Pinkett's appearance, because she's Will's wife, right? And he called her G.I. Jane, you know, because a reference to a character who's bald, because she actually has shaved her head. The backstory there is that way back in 2018, she went on a talk show and said that she was losing her hair, possibly because of stress, you know. But sometime later, it was revealed that she was diagnosed with this thing called alopecia areata. You know, if I mispronounce that, I'm sorry, but I already put the text here anyway. It's an autoimmune disease that actually causes the person to have bald spots, you know. So similar to somebody who undergoes cancer treatment, Jada decided to just go ahead and shave everything off herself, you know. And it's tough what she's going through, I'm sure of it, you know. And you might argue that it's not okay to make fun of people's appearances, but people do it all the time. I live in Brazil, a country where people make fun of terrorist attacks of all things, you know. So like any Brazilian that tries to tell you that it's not cool to make fun of somebody's appearance, you can tell them to go screw themselves, because Brazilians don't give a crap, okay? They are the least sensitive people on the planet, you know. They make fun of everyone and everything. There are no limits with Brazilians. So, but I understand that some people are a little easily offended over that, you know. The thing with Will is that at first when Chris Rock made the joke, he actually smiled and laughed at it. He saw it as an actual joke, you know. But Jada rolled her eyes and looked away, so she didn't like the joke, but Will did. So then the camera cuts to Chris on stage, and immediately we assume that Will saw his wife's reaction and immediately turned on a dime and walked up there and smacked Chris in the face, you know. Now, I at first thought that it was justified. The guy was making fun of his wife, you know, who was going through an issue like that in front of millions of people. But then I dug a little deeper, you know. I put in a lot more research into it, and that's why I'm recording this video today. Before I continue, in case you haven't seen it, in case you've been living under a rock for the past month or so, here is a clip, if I can get a hold of it, you know, without any copyright issues, of the actual slap.
Here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. Keep my wife's name out your mouth. Wow, dude. Yes. It was a G.I. Jane jump. Keep my wife's name out your I'm going to, okay?
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. Pretty darn brutal, you know. That was the smack heard across the world, man. Holy crap, that slap though. Oh boy. So in case you missed a reference, the G.I. Jane bit is a reference to the movie called G.I. Jane back in 1997 starring Demi Moore. She became the first woman ever to undergo special operations similar to the US Navy SEALs, you know, and as a soldier she had her head completely shaved, you know, similar to Natalie Portman in V for Vendetta, but that's a whole different story. So basically the way that Will reacted to me was way too over the top, you know. I mean, because like I understand that the emotions might flare up if somebody makes fun of your wife's appearance and all that, you know, but ironically you can find this on YouTube. I don't know if I can insert it here, probably not because it was recorded vertically. There is an excerpt, somebody was recording you know, the reaction of the audience after the slap, and then after Chris said, yeah, Will just smacked the out of me, you know, after he said that, you can see Jada actually laughing, you know, like she was like a jerking for, like she was like giggling about it, you know. So it's just a very strange thing, you know, and what it seems is like Will did it completely just out of nowhere. He literally just became Jekyll and Hyde. He liked it, he laughed at it, his wife didn't, so then he immediately turned, you know. There was a very similar, actually an identical thing that happened in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when he was dating a girl, and then somebody made I think a sexist joke, and he started bawling out like freaking laughing out loud. Then he looked at his girlfriend, who was all like, you know, arms crossed, and then he pretended he was coughing, you know. Same exact thing, you know, but there was no physical assault there. Now, you have to understand one thing, guys. At this point, I don't think a lot of people agree with Will Smith. You know, at first, a lot of girls were like, yeah, well, of course, he's supposed to stand up for his woman. If you don't understand, if you disagree with Will, then you're the kind of guy who laughs when your wife gets made fun of or your girlfriend. You people need to go screw yourselves, man. You missed the whole point of that thing completely, you know? For starters, Chris Rock is a comedian. It is literally his job to make fun of people, you know, or events, situations, you know, improv, you know. He actually ad-libbed the entire bit there about G.I. Jane, you know. The guy is a comedian. He's supposed to make fun of people. He's supposed to make you laugh, you know. So me personally, I don't think he crossed the line at all. You know, I think it's the kind of joke that I would make, you know. It's just like, to me, it's completely harmless, you know. It's not like if she had died from the disease, then it would be crossing a line, you know. But it was all in good fun. Actually, I think everybody in the audience laughed, you know, even Will himself. Jada was the only one who didn't. So to me, the whole thing was way out of line. And also, it is very inappropriate during something as big as the Oscars, or be it the Grammys, the VMAs, any kind of huge award show like this, for you to walk on stage uninvited, you know, and interrupt the host and physically assault them. That, I mean, Will Smith knew he was wrong, because he actually apologized later, you know. He actually went on to win an Oscar for Best Actor for the hell's the name of the movie? I'm pretty sure it was King Richard. It was written down here somewhere. Hold on. Blah 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 blah. King Richard is the name of the movie. He played the titular character, Richard Williams, who is the father of two famous tennis players, you know. He went on to win the actor, the first of his career, if I'm not mistaken, you know. And during that speech, he did apologize to the Academy, to everyone there, but not to Chris Rock. He actually did that later on Instagram. But honestly, dude, at that point, the damage was already severely done. Let's take a look at a small clip here of the movie that he was nominated for the Oscar in.
Waiting for my daughter to come out. She's playing next match.
I mean, you gotta admit, man, it's Big Willie. You know, he knows how to act. That short snippet there was definitely enough to give you an idea of what the rest of the movie entailed, you know. And the thing is that he gave an acceptance speech, you know, which was very emotional. I do believe he cried. It is already among one of the longest speeches in Oscars history. I think it was about 5 minutes or so, you know. But they just let him go. Like, nobody was gonna dare play him off, you know. Nobody was gonna try to get on stage and, you know, like attempt to remove him, you know. But of course, the incident did garner quite a bit of backlash towards him as a professional, you know, and he actually resigned his membership from the Academy sometime later on the 1st of April, you know. It was on April 1st, so maybe it was supposed to be taken as like an April Fool's joke, but it was real. And then about a week or so later, he was actually given, maybe he was expecting the storm, you know. He was just like, you know, he was kind of like, you know what, they're gonna do me in, so I'm gonna stay a step ahead of them and just quit right now while I'm ahead, you know. But of course, he was actually given a much more, he was given a much worse penalty than that, you know. He right now is banned from attending the Oscar ceremony for 10 years, you know. So I think he can still receive nominations and maybe even Oscars themselves. He just can't go to the ceremony to get them, you know, and participate and sit in the audience, you know, which I think is more than fair, you know. 10 years is a bit of overkill in my opinion. I think maybe just 1 year or just the next ceremony, you know, but 10 years is a lot. But then again, it goes to show you just how serious Hollywood is at times, you know. You can't just do something like this and expect to get away with it just because you're Will Smith, you know. So and the fact that Chris Rock played it off like a pro is just amazing, dude. You really got to give it to this guy, you know, because he just said, yeah, well, that was probably the greatest night in the history of television, you know. That was, you saw the clip earlier, you know what I'm talking about. So, I mean, it's just crazy. It was crazy, dude, you know. Yeah, I admire much more Chris Rock, you know, for still continuing to work through that, you know, despite the clear awkwardness. There were many photos, you know, screenshots that you can find, you know, and videos of celebrities reacting, you know. I think my favorite is Nicole Kidman, who was just literally like, oh. I think Nicole Kidman's reaction was definitely my favorite, you know, because when it happened, nobody was expecting, you know, and at first you're like, okay, well, maybe this is just an act, you know. Kevin Costner, who was backstage about to present the next award, he actually said, oh, that was real. That was real, guys. Oh my God, you know. So, and of course, if I played the clip earlier, I'm going to have to censor Will Smith's, you know, cursing, because I don't want that on my channel, you know. Even though if you censor something, YouTube still picks up on it as being offensive, but that's just how they work, you know. So after all of that, after having digested and the internet having after me having digested it more and the internet having picked it apart, you know, and turned it into countless memes and jokes at this point, you know, the video on YouTube has probably like, you know, over 50 million views at this point, you know, actually much more. I think it got 50 million in like the first 24 hours. It's probably coming close to 100 million now. It's probably like Mr. Beast levels of views at this point. And that was obviously the thing that made this Oscar ceremony be that Oscar ceremony, you know, because back in 2017 there was them getting the names wrong, you know, for Moonlight Best Picture, but this one takes the cake, man. And I think it, like, you don't really remember too much of what happened, you know, in the ceremony, you know. There was a lot of really cool moments by like Amy Schumer, for example, you know, if that's how you pronounce her name. She was really funny, just a natural comedian, you know. This other actress too, whose name I forgot, you know, who kept hitting on single male actors, you know. It was really cool, you know, but nobody remembers that. We only remember Will Smith smacking Chris Rock. That's just how it is, you know. Me personally, I think he was way out of line, you know. I don't agree with that kind of behavior at all. And this is coming from somebody who did 8 years of martial arts, you know, who learned how to use physical violence to defend himself. But that's just it, man, to defend yourself, not to assault somebody who made a joke about your girlfriend or wife, you know. If you didn't like it, there was a way for you to say, you know, maybe wait until the show is over, go backstage and say, hey dude, that's not cool, you know. And if you want to slap somebody, do it privately. You don't have to do it in public, you know, in front of the world. Millions of people watch the Oscar, man. So that's my opinion on it, you know, and it has become an internet sensation at this point. I'm curious to know what you guys think about it. You know, me, I think Will was wrong. I think he just went way overboard, you know. He exaggerated a little bit too much in the reaction there, you know, and he deserves the punishment, although I think 10 years is too much. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'm really curious to see your take on this, you know, and this is gonna live on for a long time, man. It started in March of 2022, but it's gonna be talked about for a long time. You can be sure of that. And that's it. This has been my take on the Will Smith Oscar slap thingy. So that's it, guys. This is Chazzy. Oh, sorry. If you happen to like this video, please go ahead and give it a like and also subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day. And while you're at it, do hit the notification bell too to know exactly what time I upload because it's videos every single day from now until my 800th. And that's it, guys. This is Chazzy now, signing out for now. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Slap that outro screen. That's hot.